Whoa, hey, how's everybody doing? Me, I'm good. Just having a little fun, enjoying life, getting a little animated. So, I want to talk to you all about how anime inspired me to change my life. So, last year, in September of 2020, I was more depressed than I had ever been. And the only thing that brought me out of it was watching One Piece. It's a Japanese anime, and it's one of the greatest adventures ever. I can't imagine a greater adventure, honestly. It's just so fantastic and so very long, but great show. So, at the time, I was really cursing my fate. I felt fate had cursed me into never finding true love, and I had always wanted to find romance and love. That was my only wish in this life. And every time I got hurt or betrayed in a relationship or just heartbroken, it was really rough. And that's what ultimately led to my depression, was just feeling like I wasn't good enough, or maybe I was too much. So I basically just kept setting myself up for disappointment because I wanted it so badly, and the fact that I could not get it, and that I kept comparing my life to others, like people that were already married and happy and have kids, and wondering why I don't. And at my age, and I may look young, and you might think I'm young, but I mean, I'm 30. I am young in my mind, but I still have a lot of time. And honestly, before I just felt really limited. I was really confining myself and just complaining all the time, playing the victim. Woe is me. And One Piece really changed that, as well as Naruto. But first I want to tell you about One Piece. So, well, I forgot. Actually, I'm going to reiterate on this later, so let's just get to the show. I first had to get myself out of bed in order to start getting my life together. But the whole time I was there for 3 weeks, depressed, I just kept binge watching anime and slowly felt better and better the more I got inspired. And this one kid had a dream, and he didn't let anybody stand in his way, and his name's Monkey D. Luffy. He set sail on the open sea with the tiniest little boat and not a single crew member. And all he had was his dream. A magnificent dream to become king of all the pirates. And he wouldn't call himself good or bad. He's just he would just do what he felt right in the moment. And if it's somebody was getting taken advantage of, he would hate to see that. Unless they weren't really fighting back on their own. But if they had the courage to stand up against these powers that were oppressing them and still get beaten down despite everything, he would back them up. He would jump in and start kicking ass. Because he does not like when people get taken advantage of, and I'm a lot like that. I see a lot of myself in Luffy, and he basically went out, made a bunch of friends, started from scratch, and then went on this amazing adventure around the entire world. Saw things that only very few people have ever seen. It's just the most glorious story and most beautiful thing. It makes you appreciate so much, so many lessons I learned from it. But they weren't just like crew members. They were his friends, and he declared war on the entire world government just to save one friend. And that was the most tear-jerking episode ever. And yeah, I just love them because they are so loyal to Luffy. He's just so charismatic and fights for his friends. Not the smartest guy, but he is very good at making friends and allies, and that's his power. Well, on top of being made of rubber, and yeah, he's also the strongest pirate, or will be when he becomes the king. But he's always moved when somebody's fighting for their dream. Like, oh, you have a dream? Alright. Yes, fight for your dreams. Go try and live your dreams, because life's short. You should do what you want. And it inspired me so much to just stop complaining, because the other pirates in the crew, most of them would just, when things got bad and they were in like terrifying situations with like all the odds against them, they wouldn't stand around complaining. No, a couple of them maybe, but most of them would just jump right into action, or they would start coming up with a plan right away. And I was just like, wow, here I am sitting complaining instead of actually doing something about my life. And that's when I started feeling a lot better and started kicking myself. Come on, it's not being such a pitiful fool. And I realized I had so much to be grateful for. So then I started watching Naruto, and everything changed after that. He like set the foundation for everything, because that story has all the best lessons in life hidden in it. So many great lessons hidden within the story of Naruto. And the major one is facing your demons. Also, teaching people how to understand each other through the pain. And in that way we would grow together and make peace and understanding, and there would be no more hate and war. And he actually ended war. For a long time he ended war. He brought peace to everybody and unified all these different lands, just because he was tired of all the pain, all the suffering. You stab me, I stab you. An eye for an eye, and it never ends. He broke the cycle of hate. And of course he didn't do it alone. Nobody can do something like that alone. It takes one person to inspire millions, though, and then we all work together and we change things. And I aspire to be a lot like him. He was basically tortured as a kid, treated like garbage, and just looked down upon like he was a demon, because he literally had a demon inside of him. And he always felt so alone and abandoned, and there was only one person that actually cared about him, and finally just gave Naruto a chance and realized that he's just another kid, and he just wants attention. He just wants to be seen, be heard, and just to have friends. He wanted to make friends. He wanted to become the strongest ninja in his village, the Hokage, just so he could prove himself that he wasn't a failure, and he worked harder than anybody else. And he made leaps and bounds and surpassed everybody else so quickly that just impressed them all, to a point where he was just a whole nother person, like, and he was already out there saving the world, changing the world, and the story's just so good. One second. Well, there's so much to say, but the main thing is it inspired me to actually do something with my life instead of just complaining about it, and also to stand up for what I believe in, and to go on a great adventure and make friends and inspire the world and stop the hate and spread love, and inspired me to do all these things. And these are things that just need to be done, and I'm done sitting around not doing anything when I can. And it's as easy as coming here and talking to you guys and just spreading awareness and communicating is how we grow. So let's do it. Let's change the world. Who's with me? Alright, see you later.